So hello and good morning. Just seeing the space I have. So I'm going to we spoke last week about painting. There was a few things I was going to go over the coming weeks especially, but as soon as I can, you know. And one of them was painting a beard and how to capture it. Adele's beautiful painting on Saturday was of this man, and she was asking about how to explain a beard. So I'm going to go into that. But first, I thought I would also just prepare, like, do the context. So to also, oh, I'm not hitting the microphone. Um, to also, you know, just find the way in. And I think it's helpful for everybody probably to have a practice at that kind of just look, you know, really looking and deciding where things are and which brush is best to describe it. Now, this face will be, you know, smaller than the size of my hand, so I'm starting with the 3/4 inch brush. Um, and what I'm going to try and do is find something to describe the side of the face beyond the nose. I was talking to Joan about this yesterday, how important it is to find the position of the nose across the face, and you could almost decide how many noses would fit, you know, on the right hand side as we're looking at him, and you wouldn't even fit half a nose on the left. So that really helps to show that his face is turned over 3/4, so you know it's turned away from us. Um, and by the same token, then the mouth will be shorter on the side that's turned away from us, and the mouth will be longer on this side. And the same with things like you know, the eye will obviously be shorter on that side than this side. So everything is shortened on the left and steeper, and on the right hand side it'll be like there'll be a long low incline, slow incline for the lip on this side, whereas there it's a vertical drop to the corner of the mouth on the other side. Okay, so here I would start with I'm going to go with cadmium red, sure. I mean, you could see there that it already has a bit of um, green in it, and I'm going to continue with the sap green into the red, just to give me a colour that'll be a kind of a way in. And then to make it a bit darker, because the the hollow of the eye is really quite dark on the left there, I put in some ultramarine blue. So, but you can still see like the white of the palette through it. It's not full of pigment, this color. Okay, so I'm aiming to it's not full of pigment, this concoction. Okay, so I'm just finding the width of the area of the eye, giving a value in general to the whole thing really. Um, I mean, I could half close my eyes, and when I do that, I see that there's almost like a triangle there, and there's a triangle of something lighter for the eyebrow, but it's still darker than anything on the other side of the face. So I'm okay with it being given a general dark shape there, and then just following the bridge of the nose down. But I'm not going to follow it down to cover the spherical end of the nose, because to me that reads as though it's in the light, and it will help for it to have volume and to protrude a bit if I don't outline it. I feel like I want to leave that open, but below the spherical end of the nose again, there's a little diagonal kind of, and it's tricky enough to place something like this without context. So I'm just keeping the faith and putting something there, knowing that it may need to move. The other area then is the underside of the nose, where the nostril is long and horizontal almost. I'm just it was a shape it made too big a shape. So what I've done is I've dried the brush on the paper towel, washed it first clean of the colour, dried it on the paper towel, and now I'm going to mould it into the shape that I want, or at least to take off the little leg that was sticking down there. Yeah, at this stage I'm not manipulating things too much, although I just did and lost it completely there. So I'm going to place it again by just putting a horizontal of dark. Probably best using the 1/4 inch brush now that I've dropped down to describing. And that's not going to be dark enough for the nostril now, so I'll start again. Sap green, cadmium red. And I'll use it elsewhere as well. And maybe a touch of the ultramarine blue. I'll put it to the side for the nostril, because the rest of it would maybe work for other things in the face. But the reason I'm mixing up this colour is just to make a dark that's dark enough to describe the horizontal. Now there's a lot of pigment on my brush, it might be too dark, but it'll leach into the paper and spread out a little bit anyway. That's okay. I wanted to find there's a slight incline for that nostril, but not too much. I'm not focused on it being a nostril so much as just deciding its position and the slant of it. And then over here for the other eye, I'm looking at the shape of the space between the eyes. You could almost call the nose itself a triangle of light. And one side of the triangle is this diagonal that comes up here to explain the nostril. And then to the right, sorry, no, not to the right. Then there's a little shadow here. It's not quite as sharp, but I'm just putting it in to help me to find the socket shadow, which really isn't this dark, but I'm going to go with it, and I can always dilute it then. But I just want to find, while I'm looking at this eye, I want to try and locate best I can the very darkest bit of it. And there's a significant diagonal down and away for the corner. And I think I will dilute the paint on the brush now and just spread it out a little bit here. And soften that area there a little bit. Let me see, am I making? And I want to put in some the alizarin crimson maybe for just to warm up this area here. I want to see if I've got enough space between. I'm just putting a bit of cadmium red into that now in order to make the colour that I see as the kind of tan skin up here. I want to see if there's enough space between the eyebrows. Bring that colour over there, kind of a little bit dark as it comes down to meet the eyebrow. And then here, after talking about the width of things being wider on this right hand side, I'm skeptical that I've not made this eye wide enough. But I guess it's going all the way down to the shadow there is what I'm seeing is the dark. So it's okay. I think it's okay. And then there's a temple here, a little shadow where the temple is, a little dip of the temple where it meets the turban as well. It may not be that colour actually. I'm going to put a bit of the nostril colour into it to dull it down a little. The reason I've not done anything in the area of the eyebrow there is because I feel like it's got a kind of a blueness to it. So I'm putting some cerulean blue into that colour that I had for the nostril. You can see into the colour I had for the nostril. And I'm going to put it where I see the eyebrow being located, pushing it and lifting it and letting it kind of paint itself on the way back down. And that's where the temple is, and I don't know if I left enough space between the two. I found some clean kitchen paper this morning, so I'm very glad because I'm trying not to use it, but it's handy sometimes. You know, for the environment, I'm trying not to use it too much, but it's handy sometimes. It can be the only thing. So I wanted to create a channel of skin there, so that anyway, yeah. So that was the simplest way to do it. And the top of that eyebrow is darker than the bottom, so I'm putting some dark blue. Cheekers, got a whole load of blue in there. I don't know what color blue that is. Now it's maybe. You know what? I'll just take it out because I didn't put it on your list. And we've got ultramarine blue. And I'm putting the ultramarine blue into the colour of the eyebrow because I want to deepen the tone of it at the top there. When I half close my eyes, the top of the eyebrow has got a darkish colour to it. The beard will have similar tones, I'd say, when we get going. Just going to lift that drop. It's not dark as it curves in. And we can always deepen the tone as it dries later. But to make this eyebrow read as eyebrow as well, I'm using the same blue. Actually, some of the cerulean blue again. I don't know what Maisie's doing there now. Some of the cerulean blue, and it's horizontally. I'm judging the position of this eyebrow in relation to this one. Maisie, get out of there. Things are precariously kind of balanced here. That mirror might fall any second. I've been painting myself in the studio every morning over the last week and a half, I suppose. Kind of, it's helpful for me to have some sort of a routine where I set it up. When I say over a week and a half, a few of the videos that I made, because I've made some videos painting my face, are 5 minutes long. So like, and even yesterday I didn't even make a video. I came in and put 3 touches on it in order to not break the chain. You might think I'm a bit nuts. You know, it was just I feel like I like the routine of it, and I'm happy to have something kind of to tip away at if nothing else comes to me. I think I'm finished it now actually, and I've got some flowers that I might be painting next. So if you're interested, you can watch the YouTube channel. Now, yeah. So I think that's all right. It's just a beginning for some sort of indication of the eyebrows. Let's see. And I'm going to pick up some of the reddish color again now, because I want to find the rest of the face. And I think it's warmer on this side, darker and warmer. And so I can explain the spherical end of the nose by painting in something of that area. Looking at the shape of the whole area of skin there, where the edge of the face stops and the space around it starts, the V where it enters the beard, which I'm not going to continue again. I don't know, sometimes it's better to leave a broken line. And then there's the edge of the nose, is the other side of that shape. So we're looking at the shape of skin between the nose and the edge of the face on this side. And the eye will occupy a space there too. I'm not going to put the eye in just yet. I've just put a shadow for the socket of the eye, and I'll indicate some more details in the eye later. And I want to do something more for the flesh of the nostril over here. Maisie, go away. Go on, out of there. Right, here you go. She wants to tear up some paper. It's going to be noisy though, isn't it? Lay down. It's all happening. Oh, there he goes. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, I think I'll pause it there and do a second video and then back up and running.